So if you haven't been told or haven't seen yet, Kyle Rittenhouse has been acquitted on all charges. This was presented yesterday by the jury and the case came to a close. I just wanted to talk about this today and my reaction to all of it. Now, when a case like this one happens, I want to wait until all the evidence has been presented to make a valid opinion. And I must say, I will agree with the jury on this one. Based on the evidence that has been presented in the court, I think he was acting in self-defense. The question that was being answered in this trial was whether or not he acted in self-defense, and I believe the jury made the right call. I watched some of the trial live, and from what I saw, it went better for the defense than the prosecution. There were times when the prosecution's own witnesses seemed to unknowingly be on the defense's side. The best example of this was when one of the people who Kyle Rittenhouse shot, I believe his name was Mr. Rosenbaum, he was on the stand being questioned by the defense. Now, Mr. Rosenbaum was one of the people chasing Kyle Rittenhouse through the streets of Wisconsin, and he also had a gun on him. The defense attorney got him to admit on the stand, under oath, that before Rittenhouse shot him in the arm, his own gun was pointing at him. This was huge for the defense because now they could make a much better case that Kyle Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense. I'll play that video of this right here.
Until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, then he fired, right?
Correct.
So now you can see that the prosecution's own witness basically turned against them. And I'm just wondering, what do you do at this point if you're the prosecution, right? Because he just admitted that he pointed his gun at Kyle Rittenhouse before he was shot. What you couldn't see in this clip was after he said this, the prosecution did a big facepalm. He was not happy with the response that was given on the stand. And if I was the prosecutor, I would feel the same. He just destroyed their case. Now, another thing that happened in the trial was when Kyle Rittenhouse was on the stand testifying what happened that night. He got super emotional and the judge had to call a recess. The only reason I bring this up is because everyone on social media and the news media made a super big deal out of it and was basically trashing him for it, saying he was acting or faking it. Now, throughout history, we've seen people who are guilty of crimes like act on trial because they want to say that they are innocent. They want to show it. I think the biggest example of this would be O.J. Simpson. When he was on trial for murder of two people, he acted like the gloves didn't fit his hands, right? Now, I don't know about you, but if I was on trial for murder of multiple individuals, which if found guilty, I would be behind bars for life, I would be emotional too. That's a huge, huge thing on your shoulders. And I think that was also the case for Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, at the time of recording this video, I have just stumbled upon an interview that Kyle Rittenhouse had with Tucker Carlson. If you don't know who Tucker Carlson is, basically he's a news reporter on Fox News. So Tucker Carlson has been asking him about this trial, and I just wanted to quote something that I found was interesting. Kyle said, quote, "This case had nothing to do with race, had to do with the right to self-defense. I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement and peacefully demonstrating." Now, I think this is super interesting because the news media and basically half of the country was calling Kyle Rittenhouse like a white supremacist and a racist and all of these things. And I found it a little confusing because he was on trial for intentional homicide and among other things. And the people that he shot were all white. That was the confusing part to me, that they were calling him a racist and a white supremacist. So now that the case is all settled and done, in response to the news media and the media basically calling him a racist and white supremacist, I think he should just sue all of them. Because if you are wrongly accused of being a racist and a white supremacist, that's bad. Like, you can lose your job, you can lose all of your friends, can lose the support of your family. Like it is a tough like, call when you are being called all of these things, and especially if you're wrongly accused. So I agree with the people who are saying that he should sue everyone for this because it can cause a lot of like damage. So now that he's been acquitted, I hope that the rest of his life goes well for him and that things will turn out the way that he wants them to. I actually heard that he wanted to be a nurse, so that's super interesting because I know that the reason why he was actually in Wisconsin was to provide medical needs for those who were getting injured. Anyways, that is going to be all for me today. Hope you enjoyed and that you will continue to stay and watch. And I hope you have a good day. See y'all later.